Let's make some fall decor today from thrift store finds. But first, where have I been for the past 6 months?
Hi, I'm Gina, and I am back after a 6 month hiatus. My daughter had her first baby, and I was spending a lot of time enjoying my first grandchild. And then after that, my mom had a heart attack, so between that and wanting to be with my granddaughter, I didn't really have any free time. So look up here. Look, Ava, look up here. Look up here. Look, these. This is like take 99 trying to do this. Anyway.
Now for some added fun to this video today. There is a hidden picture of Audrey Hepburn somewhere in this video. It wasn't done on purpose, but as I was editing, I saw it, and I thought it would be fun to just throw in a little game of the first person to find the hidden photo of Audrey Hepburn and to comment below where you saw it. I will send you a box of random craft supplies. I thought that would be fun. So if you can find the photo of Audrey Hepburn, comment below.
So, today I am bringing you thrift flips, and I thought you could see some of them in the background, but I was thinking about when I went to the thrift store, I was like, let me think out of the box. Let me find something that I think I can make into pumpkins or some kind of fall decor. So that's what I did, and I think you're gonna enjoy this video. And if you do like it, anyway, make sure you watch until the end because I have everything staged and you'll see the finished products. Ava, smile. Smile at everyone. Anyway, let's just get started, and I hope you enjoy these. I think they came out super cute.
I picked up this basket for $2.49 and 20% off, and I was like, hey, I can make this into a pumpkin. I also picked up these metal candlesticks for a different thrift flip that you will see in the future. I was thinking of making a tier tray with them. They were $1.99 a piece with 20% off as well. And I grabbed these 3 silver metal trays from the Dollar Tree because I figured I could make this a cute tier tray for the holidays to serve some desserts on it, cookies or something. I mean, after I put it together, I could probably spray paint it a different color, or I could leave it silver. And like I said, for the holidays, it would make a cute display for desserts. I also picked up this cutting board for $2.99 with 20% off, which I will be upcycling in my next video. I picked up this $1.99 wheelbarrow, which I thought was so cute, and I could switch out the inside of it for different seasons, so I'm going to upcycle that as well. I thought I could make a cute pumpkin out of this clock, so I picked this up, $3.99, 20% off, and I also did a few pallet projects in this video. First, we're going to do the basket, the clock, and the wagon. So, here is project number 1. I started off by spraying a little Windex to loosen up the sticker, and then I scrape it off with my scraper. And then I painted the top, after I gave it a wipe down, the whole basket. I painted the top with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Moss. And I painted the bottom with my homemade pumpkin orange chalk paint. That I got my recipe to do that from Holly from Hot Humble Pie. And if you don't know Holly, which I'm sure if you found me on YouTube, you have to know her. She's amazing, and I will leave the link below to her channel and where she has her recipe for making homemade chalk paint. I hadn't used my Waverly Moss chalk paint in so long. It was so thick I had to add some water to it. I actually got full coverage with 1 coat, but I did put 2 on. I added a little extra water to my pumpkin color chalk paint because I really didn't want full coverage on the bottom part of the basket because I had plans on sanding it and giving it a distressed look. I really wanted the brown to peek through, so I really liked that the chalk paint was very light, even though I believe I did another coat, but then I took it outside. I did a little hand sanding, but then it wasn't enough, so I took it outside and I took my rotary sander to it because I really wanted that brown to pop out. I grabbed a thin branch from my fire pit outside and I cut it to make the stem of my pumpkin. So I used my Type Bond wood glue, and then I put just a little dab of hot glue in the very center so that it would stay in place while the wood glue would dry. After I glued the stem on, I felt it needed a little something else to make it look realistic, so I grabbed my DOS clay and I just started forming like little triangles, puffy triangles, and I glued them onto the bottom of the stem, and then I put little lines in it to look like an actual pumpkin stem, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. I just kept making these triangles and gluing them next to each other to wrap around the stem to give that look of the top of a pumpkin. This was the look I was trying to accomplish with the clay. Then I took my scraper and I just started making little creases in it to give that look of the stem that's attached to the pumpkin. I think between last year's YouTube videos I did and this year, I could probably do a video on 99 different ways to make pumpkin stems. See, it's starting to look the way I wanted it to. There you go. I did it all around and I smoothed it out with my fingers to blend it into the lid. There you go. And now I roughed it up a little bit with some sandpaper because I really wanted the brown to come through. Although when I did it by hand, it didn't come through as much as I liked. Like I said before, I took it outside and I took my rotary sander real quick to it and got more of the brown out. I also took different brown paints from my stash and I blended them and I used different browns to paint the clay and the stem so it all blended together and looked like it belonged, and it was one piece. I added even a darker brown to it that I didn't film. See, I made it a little darker. After it dried, I embellished the top of my pumpkin basket. Of course, this is my absolute favorite part of crafting. I like making all the little fun frilly things and the embellishing part. So I took the wired twine, which I absolutely love, and they're perfect for making the little curly cues on the pumpkin, the trendles. Trendles? Drendles. I don't know why I have a problem with that word. I should know it by now because last year I did a bunch of pumpkins and I kept trying to say that word right. Okay, so I just wrapped the wired twine all around one of my big fat glue sticks. You can use a pencil, a marker, whatever you have, round, a dowel. And I cut it with my wire cutters. These are my jewelry ones. I should be using my regular ones, not my jewelry ones. I'm making them dull. Anyway, I made a couple of those, and then I am just going to hot glue them to the top, and I'm going to add all my pretty embellishments. Now, do not forget to watch this video to the very end, because at the end of the video you're going to see all my finished projects, and you're going to see them staged and how cute they came out. Okay, so enjoy watching me do my embellishing. Like I said, it's my absolute favorite part. project number 2. Check out what I did with this outdated wooden clock. I bet you can't guess what I did with it to make a cute fall decor. These are always in thrift stores. I always see them there. So if you see one, pick it up, because the project I did with this clock you can do for any season, any holiday. At first I thought, it's round, I could paint the whole thing orange, make it a pumpkin, add a stem, add some leaves, but then I thought, I have a much better idea. What about a shadow box? Making a round fall shadow box, and I love this project. I love the way it came out. Let me know in the comments below at the end of this video which was your favorite. I think this may be my favorite, I'm not sure, but first I removed the sticker, of course, cleaned it up, and then I removed the back, the inside, the guts, and I cleaned up the glass. So with just a few items I had from the Dollar Tree, I made the cutest fall shadow box. And the fact that it was round made me love it even more, because whenever you see a shadow box, they're always square. It was a little tricky removing the back, but I finally got the staples out with my jewelry pliers. I found this pretty scrapbooking paper at Michael's. It's a bunch of different colored leaves and fall colors. It's so pretty. So you take your inner, well, the back, you take the back of the clock and you trace it on your scrapbook paper, and then you cut it out, because this is going to be your pretty background. Now trace the circle onto a piece of scrap cardboard that you have, and then you're going to cut that out, and then just get a glue stick and glue them together. Make sure your cardboard fits snugly in the back of the clock. And now you have your background for your shadow box. Then a couple of coats of my homemade pumpkin colored chalk paint to give it the look of a pumpkin. I distressed it a little bit with my sander. Now I'm going to add a piece of floral foam to the background, and I'm just going to start adding things to give it a nice fall scenery. And I just used a few things from the Dollar Tree. I used some Spanish moss. They're little hay bundles. They had little mini ones at the Dollar Tree, and they had these little mesh bags with pine cones and mini pumpkins. I used those, and I used some floral fall flowers in fall colors. I just love the way this came out. It came out so cute. And then after I put the shadow box together, I made the entire shadow box look like a pumpkin by adding a piece of cork as the stem, and I added some fall leaves to it, and you just have to see how adorable this came out. Didn't this come out so cute? Now you just put the glass back on and it should sit in there nicely, and then you just decorate the outer part to look like a pumpkin. I just love the way this project came out. It came out so cute. To make it sturdy, just glue some large popsicle sticks to the back, and that will give you all the stability you need. How cute is this coming out? I just love it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this round shadow box for a pretty fall decor that you could prop it up on a shelf, or you could put it on, hang it from a wall if you want, a bookshelf. Now to embellish it to look like a pumpkin, I was going to use one of these branches, small branches from my backyard, but I realized that a cork would work so much better to adhere to this. So now I just want to make it look like a pumpkin. Time to make those tendrils again. I finally said it correct. I love these, they're so cute. Hey, just a reminder, are you still looking for that hidden Audrey Hepburn in this video? Don't forget, I have a hidden photo of Audrey Hepburn somewhere in this video, and whoever comments first and finds it will get a box of random fun craft supplies. Don't forget to watch until the end, because at the end you will see all the finished projects staged and what they look like. I am in love with this. Let me know in the comments below if you like it. And now on to project number 3. We're going to take this little wagon and just give it a little upcycle and make it look like fall. The first thing I'm going to do is just remove the price tag, and then after that I'm going to remove the little flower pot, and I'm going to save that for a future project. Now to add the cute little mini pumpkins I love. It's just a little mesh bag that Dollar Tree carries, and it's got little mini pumpkins and pine cones in it. And I thought they'd be great for projects and definitely look so cute in this wagon. I decided to open a second bag of the pine cones and pumpkins because only 3 little pumpkins come in the bag, and I just thought that this wagon just wanted to be overfull of pumpkins, like it was a wagon at a pumpkin farm and a family was filling it up. And I added a little more hay bales in it, and it was the simplest project I did, but it came out so cute, and it just looks adorable sitting on the shelf next to my other projects. Now onto my pallet pumpkins. I have a pile of scrap wood from pallets, and I just love making creations and home decor out of it. So I took a couple of scrap pieces and I decided to make some fall decor and see if I can make some pumpkins out of them. On to project number 4. So I took 3 pieces of pallet wood that were about the same size, and I took my rotary sander and I sanded them down because it gets the dirt off and it makes them smooth and lightens it up. And then I took my brad nailer and I nailed them together with the 3rd piece on top of the other 2. And I'm going to make a pumpkin out of this. Now I brought it inside and I grabbed my homemade pumpkin chalk paint, and I'm just dry brushing this orange on the boards. I don't want full coverage. I want it to look like it's worn and rustic and has been sitting in a garden or out on a farm display for years. So it's just a little bit of dry brushing. I just want to get the hint of the orange, but I don't want this to be a full coverage. I love to add bling to rustic decor, so I decided on using a vintage glass doorknob as the stem of my pumpkin. I flipped it over and I was trying to figure out how I was going to attach this to the back of my pumpkin. So I went to my local hardware store and I got this pipe clamp, which I figured would work out great, but I put in a big blob of Gorilla Glue in here, and I sat the knob into the Gorilla Glue because I want to be able to use this knob again because it's absolutely gorgeous. And I figured if I just use a hot glue, I could take it apart easily and not damage the knob. So I just added extra glue. I got it really glued in there good. And then I put the clamp on. I screwed the clamp in, and I even used more Gorilla Glue on the clamp as well. And now for my favorite part, to embellish my rustic pumpkin and make it all pretty. and more tendrils. This time I'm making them with long yellow pipe cleaners that I picked up on clearance from Michael's. I thought this would look cute. Project number 5. For this project, I used 3 pieces of scrap pallet wood that are the same size. I used my Type Bond wood glue to glue them together, and I placed a little dot of Gorilla Glue in between my wood glue so that it would immediately stick together while my wood glue was drying. I took some large popsicle sticks and I glued those on the back to make it more secure and sturdy. Now I flipped over my wood sign when it dried, and I googled a pumpkin outline and I printed it out from online. It was a free printable, and I'm going to cut out each piece and I'm going to trace it on my pieces of fall scrapbook paper that I have. I have a few pretty pieces, and I'm going to create a pumpkin putting on my sign. Now that I cut out the pumpkin pieces, I'm going to use them as a pattern to cut out on the scrapbook paper and create the pumpkin. Now that I have them cut out, I was playing around with placing the pieces to see how I wanted them to sit on my sign, and then I just Mod Podged everything in place. I waited for that to fully dry before I embellished the pumpkin and before I put a seal on it. So now that it's fully dry, I'm going to seal it up and I'm going to add my embellishments. I cut the sunflower out of one of my pieces of scrapbook paper that I had used last year on a fall project. I had a piece left and I thought this sunflower would look so pretty to embellish my pumpkin sign. I sealed the entire thing before I painted on it and embellished it, and I waited until the Mod Podge completely dried before I did my next step. Now that my Mod Podge is dry, I'm going to do all my little doodling to make this pumpkin look cuter. I'm going to use my little Sharpie and do my little doodles like they're stitches, and then I'm going to use my slick puffy paint and make some more doodles to close up the gaps on my pumpkin. When I finished this sign, I felt like it needed something. I should have taken my Cricut and wrote either pumpkin patch or pumpkin farm or pick your own pumpkins. When I'm done with this, take a look at it and tell me what you would do. What words would you put on here? I have a Cricut, so I'm going to do something, but I didn't do it here. What would you write on this sign? Remember to watch to the end so that you could see everything finally staged. And here are the final results. And project number 6 is a bonus. This is something I did last year. I picked up this glass vase from a thrift store and I made it into a pumpkin. So here is the speeded up fast version of this, but in the comments below I will put the link to the actual DIY video that I did of this, the long version. First I put a coat of white chalk paint on the vase. This way it gave me a nice base coat. Next I took my Waverly chalk paint in agave and I painted the stem. Now I let that dry and I used my 2 go-to apple barrel colors that I've used this season. I am using the Azalea Blush and the Crown Gold. These are my 2 go-to colors that I've been blending to do pumpkins. Notice that I'm making sure the darker color lands in the crease of the pumpkin, so it gives it that shadowy darkness where you would normally have that on a pumpkin. Now I'm just fixing up the stem where the pumpkin meets the green, and you could see the white chalk paint underneath, so I'm just blending that a little more. After it dried, I just sealed it with Mod Podge. After the Mod Podge dried, it is embellishing time, my favorite time. Time for more drendels, 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 drendels. Did you remember to look for Audrey Hepburn in this video? Did you find the hidden Audrey Hepburn? If you did, make sure you don't forget to comment below, because the first one who finds her gets a box of free random crafting supplies. And here are the final results.
if you like what you see and you enjoy watching thrift flips, click the little subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I upload something, and it helps my channel grow. And now that I'm back to doing YouTube, I would love it if you help me out. Thank you.